Hello, welcome to SquishiVision. I watched Ahsoka last night and then I fell asleep, so I didn't get a chance to react to it. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna react to it now. So this is episode 6, Far Far Away. Really, please, no, don't knock my devices. Named after the famous opening Star Wars crawl. And the fact that that's like an in-universe thing. This gives you chills, doesn't it? It was. I mean, and it was the final line of the cold opening when and there was such a great build up towards it as well. You weren't expecting it, where Ahsoka basically asked Huang to tell her the story that he was going to tell her, and so he responds with, in the galaxy far, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and wow, didn't expect that. That was quite impactful. And that's the last time we see these two characters, but considering last week was Ahsoka heavy episode that was fairly light on the characters who we see this week, it kind of makes sense, so there's that balance. But yeah, she basically talks about Huang, about kind of her concerns over the bean, and Huang admonishes her, and she doesn't really want to hear anymore, and we get into the thing, and then we jump to them arriving at a foreign galaxy. And I mean, the planet is very volume looking. Like it looks green screen, but it looks green screen in a way that I don't actually hugely think I mind. I don't know, it just kind of, it looks very classical, like it looks matte painting like, and rather than, like, obviously matte painting looks fake as well, but there's a kind of nostalgic kind of like there. I think this is the kind of the same thing here. I think this is very much the same way that the volume looked in Mandalorian season 1. Not that it got worse, but like the kind of that same kind of reverence over that was kind of present here, I think. So I did like that, and we got some like really good kind of character bits. I don't know if it's just worth going through them all. I mean, we saw some Night Sisters, like actual genuine Night Sisters, Dathomira Night Sisters, which is a nice kind of throwback to the Clone Wars, a nice throwback to Jedi Fallen Order. So that was all kind of very, that was all kind of cool, and the whole like magic thing. Interestingly, they identified Sabine as a Jedi. See where that goes. Yeah, then Balin and what's his name? How is he getting? Balin and Shin have kind of a bunch of conversations. Interestingly, Shin seems to be like be having a subtle kind of change or hesitancy. It's not really explained, but she's questioning the kind of the plan. She's like, why we should leave this place, it's a bit freaky. Why are we going after, why are we like going after and going to go kill Sabine? Questioning Bail, he's kind of like thoughts, about Jedi Order, having doubts about the mission, not like explicitly, but like, she's like, we're here because there's some like big powerful thing on this planet, and she's like, oh, I don't want to see it, I just want to sense it, kind of deal. So it's interesting about her perspective there. Ray Stevenson has some really, really good monologues with Balin, talking about the Jedi Order and how he likes the kind of idea of it, but not in practice. Very much kind of the thing that Luke talks about much later on. His kind of disillusionment, but how he kind of still misses it. But he was a former Jedi, he's a mercenary, how he wants to end. the cycle of, you know, rise of an empire, rise of a Jedi, rise of an empire, rise of a Jedi. He talks a lot about history of places, stories he had as a child. It was all very, very impactful. Shot really good. Really seems to do a really good job of delivering the lines. A lot of gravitas, a lot of emotion, some genuineness to it. It's all so good. And I guess, yeah, and then Ezra's back. Played by the only person on Wikipedia who doesn't have his own article, Iman Isfandi. Plays a different looking Ezra. Gone is the purple. Is this purple hair gone? That's actually was his hair purple? Oh no, I guess it was. No, it wasn't purple. I don't know why I thought it was purple. I guess it had a kind of bluish tint to it. Yeah, he looks nearly completely different. He's got a beard, his hair's longer. I suppose it's kind of more than what he looked like when we first saw him. But he's still got blue hair. Isfandi does a really good job of capturing the Ezra Bridger that was voiced by Taylor Gray. That captures the same kind of tone, but at a kind of a much more older age. It's like, what is this, like not a decade later? Is it maybe a decade later actually? Sometime later. Like it's believably him, in a bit more kind of mature, like a Jedi kind of sense. And honestly, his and Sabine's reunion, it was just like I almost went to cry. Like you could sense a genuine kind of happiness between the two of them. Just in that hug, it was so well done, but not overplayed. Like it still had that kind of sibling banter. Sabine has some really good parts this episode as well. They once again tried to like hint towards a shared amount of force powers, but that's actually just a red herring because the ship flew across, and I remember the word herring this time. Her and the dynamic between her, like Wolf, was really funny, really cute, and I'm like, oh, Sabine's being mean to the doggo. He's just doing his best. Her fight scene, brief and like as it was with the bandits, was pretty like decent. Her interaction with the turtle people was really cool. I love the turtle people. I love the design. This episode has a lot of kind of like dark, kind of has a lot of like Jim Henson vibes to it, especially with those lab turtle creatures. I really love those. They're so cute. Like so much world building about this new planet that we're getting just from like the people who live there and the creatures that live there. Like the designs are so good and like really decent, and like you can tell a lot of like care into making this look good and have like that kind of cinematic look to it. I mean, this could literally be cinema. It's shot that well. And like the idea that the turtle like element translates to their homes, so their homes are all like kind of movable, and but they look like rocks as well. So that's explains how Ezra hid so well for all this time. Thrawn, damn. I mean, I was one of the people who were like live action Thrawn, played by Lars Mikkelsen, even though he's the voice actor from Rebels. Kind of looks. I hate to say it, but he kind of looks like a blue Data-esque Elon Musk from the images, and even like the screen caps now from the episode, it still looks the same. But when you see him in motion, when you see him move, when you see the way he smirk and he's like holds his body and like just in motion and just like even though he's very still, just in moving picture, he looks more like Thrawn, and he looks more like an older Thrawn as well. And a Thrawn who's like they're still the same individual, but having had that time to reflect, the threat levels kind of just come back straight there. It's really good. He's doing a really good job of replaying the role, and I'm excited to see where it goes from there. Also really great like designs for like his stormtroopers. Like he's clearly like customized them to be like his own personal army. He's given them like their own like sashes and like accents. Their uniform is obviously a bit more rugged because it's the one that had to maintain for like this last kind of like 10 years. Interesting kind of like chief of staff figure who has like a weird like mask. Really interested to know more about that. He sends Balin and Shin to go hunt the Jedi down, Sabine and Ezra down, but doesn't actually seem to care that much about what happens to them in very much a consistent way to Rebels, in that, you know, he's looking at the big picture and these like loose ends once he leaves the planet, if they're dead or alive. But he just says if they're dead or alive, it can be stranded here either way. I don't particularly care. Is that kind of pragmatism that defines Thrawn from Rebels. That's back, and it's great. He just meant it, the role is identical to what we saw. What else? No, that's it. I mean, how many episodes are in this series? How many episodes are we expecting? So we've got 2 more episodes. We're out of like basically the 2-part finale next week. Everyone's kind of in place. Oh, yeah, nice bit about like Ahsoka Tano being like, oh, there's someone else approaching. And he's like, well, that's probably Ahsoka. And, you know, Morgan's like, well, Balin said that she died. And he's like, well, yeah, well, was there a body? Like, come on, these are Jedi. Like, just don't assume that. Like, he's so like genre savvy. It was amazing. So like all the chess pieces are getting into place. I guess you know, it's whether or not the battle happens. I guess the next move is to stop Thrawn from well, because their dilemmas. Sabine hasn't told Ezra how she got there and doesn't know about the given Thrawn the means to escape. Thrawn has the means now to escape and is about to do so, presumably to try and leave before Ahsoka comes and ruins his plans again. So Sabine's not in a rush to tell Ezra this because she wants to enjoy the moment, which A, to be fair, but B, come on, priorities. Like, don't make the situation any worse. And then Ahsoka's on her way. So generally excited to see where the next episodes go. And yeah, it's exciting days for everyone. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys. I mean, I don't know when, but I'll see you.